Hi, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Amy.
And welcome to Every Universal Hotel Rated.
How exciting. So we've had a lot of questions in the past about Universal hotels because I guess we'll create a list of all the links to room tours on our channel in the past.
Many.
So we've stayed in like all of them really. Yeah. So we're going to do a little rank from our, I guess, least favourite to our most favourite and tell you why.
Yeah.
Okay, so and I do have an iPad with notes, so if I'm looking down, that's why. I want to start by saying Universal does like categorize and rate their own hotels. So there's a few different categories. So the first one is the value hotels, then they've got prime value, then they've got preferred, then they've got Premier. So we'll tell you where the hotels fall on their category and if we agree or disagree, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll just jump right in. So hitting the list at number 7, so our least favourite is the Endless Summer Resort. So that would be Surfside and Dockside, and we're just gonna put them together. Yeah. Mum has not stayed there. I have stayed in Dockside, and it's a great hotel. It's a solid hotel. I just think that like I love my Universal hotels to be near the parks, and although this is like very convenient, you can hop on that bus and get straight over to the parks, or you can walk, it's just that little bit further out of the way that it doesn't feel quite like a Universal hotel like the others do. The room is pretty solid. I think we had like sort of like a family style room, so there was like an actual bedroom and then there was a bed in like a communal kind of living area, and it's definitely a great hotel for families, but it didn't blow me away. Have you been there at all?
No, we have not.
Just seen the videos? Just
seen the videos. I've seen other people's videos. I mean, from what I've seen, I would tend to agree. Yeah. I think the only thing is, that thing that does make it a winner for a lot of people is their price. It's a fantastic
I should say,
price.
This is the cheapest hotel on the list, so it kind of does make sense it would be at the bottom. And it is what Universal classes as a value hotel because it is great value. Yeah. So
I do think
it is what it says on the tin.
Absolutely.
Basically.
And I do think that every Universal hotel that we're talking about here, we are being kind of nitpicky and talking about pros and cons. Yeah. I think they're all great.
Oh, recommend them all. Yeah. So don't think that like it's a bad hotel if it's down the bottom of the list. It's just not as good as the others in our opinion.
Absolutely. So I'll take number 6. So coming in at number 6 is, and some people might be shocked at this, Royal Pacific. Now, I know some people love Royal Pacific, and Royal Pacific is one of the premier hotels, and it is a gorgeous hotel. Don't get me wrong, it's a gorgeous hotel. It's really lovely. It's very close to City Walk, so it's very easily walkable to City Walk and the parks. However, when I stayed there, I just didn't love it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the other hotels. It's purely personal experience when I stayed there and personal preference. And we revisited the hotel again on our last trip, which was just in June. Vlogs on the channel. And I did think it was beautiful. It is a really gorgeous hotel. We went there, we ate there, we had a walk around, and to be honest, I couldn't really remember that much of it from when we stayed there. But I definitely think for me this is the 6th best hotel and the one that I would be least likely to book if I was looking for one of the premier hotels. I do think, however, that it tends to come in on the lower side of the premier hotels. I think the other two are higher priced, and that probably is why it also is quite popular, because obviously well, not obviously, you might not know, with the 3 premier hotels you also get Universal Express Pass for the time that you stay in there. And I know a lot of people will book one of the premier hotels for their family so that they can get the express pass, because it works out cheaper to do that. And go for it. If that's what you want to do to get your express passes, I think that's a really great way to do it.
My thing about Royal Pacific is I don't think it has a very appealing layout. I think like Universal hotels normally have that big lobby, and there's like a casual restaurant, a sit down restaurant, there's a shop. Like it just has a weird feel.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know like what it is about it, but there's like something about the vibe.
Yeah.
We did go like way back in the day when they had Chop Chop, which was a really great restaurant that they closed, and I believe that's now where they do like a Minions breakfast. And I think like it just felt like they like got rid of a lot of stuff there, and but I haven't been in a long time, so I'd be willing to go back again if they want to invite me.
Or someone else wants to pay.
Yes.
So yeah, that's number 6 on our list, and I do apologise sincerely to anyone who absolutely loves Royal Pacific. Again, just speaking from personal experience. On to our next one.
Okay, so number 5 on the list, and again, I think this could be pretty controversial, but it is the Hard Rock Hotel. And it's weird saying that because I always think of this as like being somewhere that I love to stay, but I feel like I like the idea of it more than I actually like it.
I agree.
Like I feel like it could be more, and maybe it's just because they've made it like a little bit more of, you know, it's not the Hard Rock Cafe. It's like not very like kitschy, and I feel like
it's not very Hard Rock.
Want it to be more. Yeah, it's a little bit more like just luxury hotel.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have a little bit more of a nod to like it's a Hard Rock.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they would do that, but and it's a beautiful hotel, and it definitely feels very like expensive. They've got a really lovely pool area, but again, like I feel like I want it to feel like cooler. That being said, like I like the bar there, like we've always had good experiences there. The rooms are nice, but like a room is a room, so like it's kind of the same as all the other rooms, and this is a premier hotel, and like normally this is the most expensive because it is pretty much on the doorstep of Universal Studios, so it's a very quick walk, like probably like 5 to 10 minutes, if that. So yeah, I don't know, there's just something about it that doesn't live up to my expectations, even though I've been a few times.
I would agree with that, yeah.
And we've had some nice pool days there, and I know the pool is like cool and there's music underwater, but like I don't know, I just feel like it could be more. I do like their food options there. So they have a really great like quick service for the pool. They have some ice cream and stuff, which I think is what I feel like Royal Pacific's lacking a little bit when I've been there. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we've stayed a few times for like extended periods of time, like a week at a time. And I've always enjoyed our stay there, but I've never thought it was spectacular.
I think it doesn't live up to the price as well. And especially now, I think like its base price is kind of $400 a night most of the time, which is kind of insane.
It's not worth it.
But again, if you have a family of 4 and you want express, why would you just pay for express when you can get a night in the Hard Rock Hotel and have 2 park unlimited express? Like, it's a no-brainer, and I do think that's why these premier hotels, the price has just kind of gone up and up and up, because if you're going for that purpose, it's still worth it.
And I know that the hotels know that people are doing that, and so they feel justified to increase the prices.
Still cheaper than express.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that is number
5
on our list. So let's move on to number 4. Number 4 on our list is Aventura Hotel. Aventura is right next door to Sapphire Falls. And that being the case, you can actually jump on the water taxi and get nice and quickly over to City Walk and the parks. It's a really modern looking hotel, which I've stayed at quite a few times and really enjoy it. Has good food options, has a Starbucks in the lobby. The rooms, again, like the rooms are like fairly basic, I would say, but I think that's part of the vibe of the hotel. We first stayed there literally 2 months after it opened, and their whole thing was like, it's very like modern. You have iPads in the room that control everything. There's like a little robot that goes around and like takes things to people's rooms. It's like, yeah, it's like a big gimmick thing, kind of. Yeah, that is their thing. The pool area is nice, but it's not the biggest. No. And I would say that it's a great hotel for adults and people with older children. I don't think it has much appeal for younger children. I would go to Cabana Bay over the road if I had younger children. But for me, the sky bars are lovely, even though they charged Dad for some ice in his drink and he's never getting over that. But the sky bar is really nice. The food options on an evening, if you just want to stay in and grab a pizza, or you know, they have like a nice court, nice food court with a lot of different options like roast dinner. So yeah, it's really nice, really enjoy it. Has great views, especially if you get a skyline view room. You've got views over the parks. The last twice we've stayed there, we've had a theme park view. You wake up on a morning, you can see Hogwarts Castle,
which is great,
which is amazing. So that is my opinion on Aventura. What would you say?
Pretty much the same. I think it's a good solid hotel. It's not overly themed. I think their food options are great. I really like the pool because it is smaller, and I think people who go there and not really going for the pool and those facilities, so it's definitely a little bit more like adult friendly of a resort, I would say. And we should say it is classed as a prime value, so it's like a step up from the Endless Summer Resort, but I think that like it definitely feels like maybe a little bit more luxury than some of the other prime value because it's quite simple. And it's not overly themed and like kitschy and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely a good choice for a hotel on property.
Okay, so number 3 on the list is Cabana Bay, which again, if you've been on our channel for a while, we've stayed there a lot.
We love it.
We love it there. So it's a huge resort with a few different types of rooms, and we've stayed in both. So they have like the one side which has like your standard universal hotel rooms, so like a queen room or whatever, 2 double beds.
With like an internal door, so the hotel rooms come off the internal corridor.
Yes, so it's like it's like an inside corridor. Then the other side is like I always call it like motel style, like an outside corridor. And they are family suites, so you get like a mini kitchen area, you get a living room, and that pulls out into a bed, and then you also get 2 double beds in like a separate bedroom that you can close the door to. And both rooms are great, just depending on how many people you're with, if you can get a deal. The family rooms are really great because you have that little bit more space and you have the kitchen area and stuff. But just the resort in general, there's 2 pools, and one of them a little bit bigger than the other, and there's like slides and stuff for kids. There's a lazy river. It also has access to get into Volcano Bay. Volcano Bay is like quite not hard to get to, but it's not quick.
It's time consuming. You've got to get a bus
to there, normally. So it's definitely a big perk to be able to just walk across and be able to get it. They also have, with the addition of Volcano Bay, they built 2 towers that overlook Volcano Bay. So we've been lucky enough to also have a room that looked over into Volcano Bay, which is really cool as well.
Although noisy.
A little noisy, and they have drums at all times of the day. But you know, at other theme parks like Disneyland Paris, with their front of the park hotel, and then in Japan at Disney Sea, you pay a lot of money for that kind of room that looks out into one of their attractions. So I think it's a really cool experience to be able to do that. They also have a great like lobby slash I guess like main building area. They have a little food court, a good shop that has a lot of like themed merchandise depending on what's going on in the park.
A lovely bar.
Have a Starbucks. They have
the Swizzle Bar.
The Swizzle Bar. They have the Swizzle Bar, which is great, and they always do like seasonal cocktails as well. So really, like, there's just like lots of stuff going on.
And a bowling alley.
And a bowling, oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
A bowling alley. Well, what I was going to say is, like, again, I keep saying it, but depending on the time of year, they have the last few years had like some kind of extension of a Halloween Horror Nights experience, be it like a photo op or a little experience inside, which is really cool, and you can only do it if you're staying at the hotels. So there's a couple of like really fun things like that, and we just like to, you know, go to the pool, go to the pool bar, and it's just like got a really nice feeling to the resort. It's themed kind of 50s, like a little bit like futuristic style 50s, and it just, yeah, it just always feels really nice, and it's very family friendly, but it doesn't feel weird being there if you don't have kids.
No, that's right.
And it's really also quite easy to get the park still. There's a walking path, which takes about 15-20 minutes.
15-20.
Or you can cross the street and go over to Sapphire Falls and get the water taxi from there. But most of the time we've just walked.
Or get the bus.
Fine. Yeah, you can get the bus. We just never get the bus. That's why it doesn't even. You never really get the bus. We've always just walked.
Yeah, all of these Universal hotels have a free bus to take you from the hotel over to the park.
We prefer to walk normally, because then you're entering right into City Walk instead of entering into like the transportation hub and then going through security and stuff. So that's the only reason why we don't normally get the bus, really.
That's true.
But yeah, we have stayed there quite a few times, as I've said, and we've really loved it.
We have loved it, yeah. So we are now up to number 2. So number 2 on our list is,
drum roll,
Sapphire Falls. Sapphire Falls is, in my opinion, one of the loveliest hotels on Universal property. I think it has a lovely feel from the minute you step into that lobby, and a great smell. Has a great smell.
It does have a good smell.
It has a lovely welcoming feeling. It has a rum bar, which is fantastic and does really great food. Yeah. It has really lovely rooms, a great pool area, some good food options in the quick service as well as in the restaurant, which is called Strongwater Tavern. It also has the benefit of the water taxi that takes you from the hotel all the way over to City Walk and to the parks, and having the water taxi as part of your hotel transportation I think is really fantastic. If you're in Aventura, you can also use that water taxi. It's just a quick walk over the road, which I think a lot of people do. We certainly have done that when we've stayed there, but I think having it there on your doorstep is really great. They have a lovely pool there, and also some like little walking paths around, and if you get one of the rooms that overlooks the lagoon area, it's really, really beautiful, because you can sit in your hotel room and you can see the boats going up and down the lagoon. It's a really fantastic view. One of our favourites, I think, on Universal property. Yeah. And all the times that I have stayed there, I've really, really enjoyed it. I've loved the room, I've loved the whole vibe of the hotel, had great service there, enjoyed the food there, enjoyed the drinks there, and I haven't been able to fault it at all. So that is why it is number 2 on my list. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with all of those points. I was going to say that this is what Universal called a preferred hotel. It is the only preferred hotel the Universal has, and really the reason for that is because it is really a premier hotel, but it does not offer express. I'm sure there was some operational reason that was made.
They were like, we ain't giving any more people express.
I think it would have been like too much express, but I remember when it opened, it was kind of like outrageous that you weren't getting express. But I think that like it's a really beautiful hotel, and it's kind of become like tradition that even if we don't stay there and we stay at another Universal hotel, that we go there on the first night and go to Strongwater Tavern and have food and drinks there, because we really love it there.
We do love it.
But worth noting, like, see how like high up the list it is, but you don't get express. So I think that like kind of speaks to it, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Like
it does.
We still really love it.
But I think as well the price of it is definitely a lot less than the 3 Premier hotels.
Yeah.
Which is again why I think it's a really good option. If you want a really lovely hotel, you want the water taxi, and you want to be on Universal property, then I would say that that's definitely a really good option, because I think it's reasonably priced for the kind of hotel that you get in. Definitely. And the kind of facilities and the kind of service that you get as well.
Totally. Okay, so moment of truth.
I hope you're excited.
Process of elimination, you can probably figure it out. So our number 1 favourite Universal hotel is Portofino Bay. So we've stayed there quite a few times and we just love it. I think that in general, like even if it wasn't at Universal, the theming of this hotel is amazing. I think this is a way to like really over the top theme something, but it didn't have to be covered in Minions and Universal characters in order for it to feel like really special and like an immersive experience. It is like Italy themed. Yeah, that's Portofino. Portofino. I was like, oh my god. So it is like Italy themed. So it just looks like so beautiful. It doesn't even look like a hotel. And it kind of sits on the edge of the lake, so it looks like it's on a bay. And it's a huge hotel. So the lobby has some great, I mean there's quite a few restaurants there, and honestly we haven't really eaten at that many of them, but they have like a little shop area that feels like a little indoor Italian village. They also have, when you come down and out onto the Bay Area, they have a couple of restaurants there that are a little bit more casual.
A little pizza restaurant, an Italian restaurant.
There's like a little like kind of bar, like almost like a wine bar, isn't it?
A Starbucks.
A Starbucks, never forget the Starbucks. There's a shop, but it just feels totally different to every other Universal hotel.
It feels luxury.
It definitely does, and the price reflects that. But you're getting what you pay for with this hotel. I think the rooms, the layout is the same. Now we've had a variety of rooms. We have.
I would say that the square footage of the room tends to be more than the square footage of somewhere like Hard Rock. So you get in a bigger room with more space, but I also think you get a much nicer room. And I can't make this video without telling you about the beds, because the beds are literal clouds. I have never slept in a hotel like I've slept
beds,
in
but not
Portofino.
just the beds, it's like the bedding
as
well.
Yeah,
so like
the duvet,
the cover,
everything.
Amazing. The other thing about the rooms is like, so I've stayed in a few different types of rooms there. So I have stayed in a room that was on like the bottom floor that had like the, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the double doors that go to the outside, and it was right next to the water taxi. However, you can't enter and exit through that door for your room because it's a balcony. But it was cool because you can kind of just like sit there. However, when you're not sitting there, other people do sit there, which was kind of weird, but in theory, beautiful idea. We've also had a really weird experience at this hotel. So we were lucky enough to get like a discounted room, and when we showed up and checked in, we just got our express passes, we went off into the park and did our thing. So then we went back and they gave us our room number. We went to the room and we were like, what is going on? And there was like double doors going in the room. So we go into this room and it's like the suite. It's like the suite. Like if you have watched videos of when the Wisdom World of Harry Potter opened and there was like the people who were in the Harry Potter movies, like they were like filmed in that room. So we were like, what is going on? There's like a kitchen, there's a dining room, but there's no bed.
There was also like a butler's like
literally like insane. This room.
We couldn't find a
sofa, but there was no bed, and there was 2 doors on either side, but they were both locked. So anyway, it turns out that they were fully booked, and because we had not paid for a full room, it was sort of like, well, you can stay in this room and we'll bring like a rollaway bed.
There was like a sofa bed.
Yeah, but it wasn't like pulled out or anything.
No, it wasn't
like
out.
made.
There was
like
a couch.
Yeah. So anyway, we did decide to stay in the suite, and they pulled out the sofa bed and they brought us free of charge 2 roll-away beds. And that is how we had a sleepover.
Yeah, we did.
In like the fancy suite at Portofino Bay.
A full-size dining table. It was the size of like a boardroom table, enormous. It was, if I can find some pictures,
I'm pretty sure there's a picture of me in a robe lounging on the
It was incredible.
bed,
the room was incredible.
Yeah.
And it was one of those nights where they have the like opera singers on the balcony, and they were right next to where our room was, and so when we opened the curtains you could see the opera singers on the balcony. It was absolutely, it was
hilarious. It was a good experience, and since then we were like, oh, will we have a bed like every time we went there? But it was a good experience, and I'm sure it won't happen to you. It was just because we had a special rate for like a discounted room.
Yeah, it was like a staff.
It was like a staff discount. So yeah, so that's how we've stayed in many rooms there. But we just love it. And I don't know if you've ever been to the pool.
I've been to the pool. I've never spent a lot of time at the pool.
2 different pools, I want to say, and they're really lovely. They're again a little bit more, feel a little bit more like luxury resort.
There's
vibes.
nice cabanas around the pool.
And feels like a really nice like luxury hotel. Again, feels very Italian. So it's just like really beautiful. Is my thoughts. Yeah.
And if you have the budget to blow on a very expensive hotel, then
that's the one.
I would definitely say to do it on that. Out of the 3 more luxury hotels in Universal, I would definitely say Portofino is the one to go for if you are wanting something really special. If you're just booking a night or 2 and you want to really push the boat out, then that would always be my choice. If you're looking for something a bit cheaper, then and you've got your children and you've got the whole family, go to Cabana Bay. Because the kids will love it. They will love it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much,
and that's what we
wanted to say.
Oh, the only thing I was going to say is there is more Universal hotels to come. So we are hoping that at some point we'll be able to stay in them. I'm particularly anticipating, and I have no idea what it's called, but like the big hotel that's going to overlook a big universe.
We better start saving now.
Yeah, so I'll start putting money away now. Because if we think Hard Rock's expensive, I'm sure that's going to be even more. But we're really excited about all of that as well.
But then you've also got Stella Nova and Terra
Nova, isn't it?
Stella Nova and Terra Luna.
That's it,
So those the 2 new hotels which are on par with I believe they're going to be on par with Cabana Bay on that level. And they again both look great. Can't wait to see people's videos when they first go there. Looking forward to seeing all those the vloggers going and trying them all out and getting in those parks first. Can't wait to see that.
And if Universal wants to invite us, we would love to come and stay in one of those hotels.
They're not going to invite us, but please do.
We'll manifest that.
We will. So I think that's pretty much it for this video. We really hope that you've enjoyed it, and we also hope that you will leave us down below a list of what you think your top hotels are. So, you know, by all means feel free to list all 7 in the order that you would rate them, or if you've just got a top 2 or 3, if you haven't stayed in all of them, then let us know what your favourites are from the ones that you've stayed in. We'd be really interested to find out, because like I said earlier, I think it's very much personal preference, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So we hope you've enjoyed it, and we've got lots more videos to come, so please like, subscribe and all that kind of thing, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.